I'm very, very excited about meeting with you this morning. It's going to be such fun for me to share this video with you that I think you haven't seen. And I worked and worked to get it down to 10 minutes, but I couldn't do it. It's 11 minutes. But I thought for that extra minute, you would give me grace, especially BJ will. So it in our 12-minute conversation, we want to see if we can get a sense of what we're making that's making itself through us, that is happening, that is emergent. And so what's emergent, we don't know.
Well, I can talk about the me, you, and the us, because I'm having to figure that out in a week or two from now. A new client who is a very, very famous performer here came to me, and he was suicidal and on drugs, and he stopped all his singing performance. And we've done very well, but he has asked me to go to his town and work with him, his family, his manager, and the entourage of 25 people that support him, going from concert to concert. And I've met some of them in Sao Paulo in groups and small groups. There's no us. There's no us. Well, the us isn't producing a community that supports the health of everyone. And there are individuals that go to some depths, others that don't look, but he stopped because he realized if I continue this way, I'll be dead. So
Stephen, excuse me. I'd like to ask you for a little clarification on something.
Yeah.
You said at the beginning of our sharing, it was so powerful for me about with your therapist, your body knew if there was an us and there was not an us, and your body didn't let you proceed in your learning to speak. And now I hear you giving an example of a slightly larger group, and your body's keenly aware that with them there's not an us as well. And in a way, I think you're in a unique position with this group because you have had to be away. And so what's your body say to you about this group, understanding that you've not been mixing with it?
Great. Yeah, that's helpful. What I was presenting too is that the people I know kind of joy of being alive and seeing you and feeling how to re-enter to the connection I had, and I know I had it because I missed you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Stephen. That's beautiful.
The new people, I'm my silence has been just to listen so I can get to know you because I don't know you. And I've heard the things you say, and they're very positive and contributions to my awareness. But I'm listening for you so that I can rejoin everybody in the group because I'm going to be back from now on. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's great. I feel I'm trying to embrace all of you with listening because that's how I have come back to embracing life.
How am I supposed to know that you're listening for me if you don't invite me or make a request or show an active interest? I don't have a way. I mean, I don't have a way of knowing that you are interested or want to hear something, my thoughts or any of that.
I'm so glad you spoke up, Rebecca, because I've been looking at you throughout the session and I haven't heard anything from you. I'm so new to this group. I've heard other people speak, but I'm so glad to hear your voice. I don't think I even knew what it sounded like, and it's putting a smile on my face. I appreciate you speaking up. I'm so glad.
Well,
Yeah,
well, thank you. I'm new to this group as well. I was at the first class, but not the second class, and I guess this is our third. So I guess there are people here that weren't at those classes, we're new to each other, and then there are a bunch of you that know each other for a very long time.
yeah,
But
I can
I'm,
answer
I'm
questions.
thinking about in groups that I've been in as either a member or a facilitator, leader, therapist, whatever you want to, whatever the title is. I think some people need an active invitation, which seems to me just, I'm making a connection to what you said earlier, Lynn, about somebody walking into your office, they're drenched from having traveled in the rain or whatever, and you make an immediate, you reach out and let them know that you see them and that you're interested in what they've been through, what their experience is, by saying, oh, I'm chilled also, you know, and
Yeah.
I
Here,
think,
if I may,
yeah, sure, jump in.
yes, I would. Uh, we are doing something. What I believe is what I know. That's how it works. We are doing something, and things are happening. Well, we are doing something also on the level of the implicit. So your question was what that well, your statement was that you have no way to feel that you are welcomed if I don't do something, don't say something, don't do something in space. But I believe, and I'm quite sure that you do have. Well, we all do. We all experience the implicit, and if I am making an inner movement of welcoming you, then you are noticing it, whether you're noticing or not. That would be my point here.
I think, and similarly, there's always an us. And when you say there's no us, you mean you don't like the us that's there. It's chaotic, it feels schizoid, whatever it is that makes you not like the us. There's still an us.
I'm curious, Jim, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to Stephen, who started out saying there was no us.
Oh, so what I can say is two things. One, I realized that I'm still re-entering the group. I'm not in a place where I could invite you or me to have that kind of conversation because I'm still in transit. That was useful information to me. And what I mean is I've met with small groups, and when they are talking about how to support the performance and what they went through and how he was depressed and so on, my body didn't feel that they have any contact with the us that was there, and the us what is there is negative. You know, the us is there. You go out and sing because we make millions of dollars every year. We're doing that, and know us to say, how would we nourish and support this guy who is our income? They have a very vested interest, and maybe there's an us there, but it's eclipsed by how they're working together. And that's why I think I agreed. No, I know I agreed because I'm intrigued to see if I think mainly through Eric's own and focusing that they and we and he can develop a sense of a us that makes everybody into a community that can support this kind of thing.
I just want to say something. I feel as a new person in a group, this one or any other one, but different groups have a different feeling. And I'm pushing myself to speak and to be a part of the group, but I also feel very much what Rebecca said. I also want to be invited. It's not just implicit and felt into when when there isn't a relationship. A relationship the relationality for me is developed, isn't it? It's not just there all of a sudden.
Not of a sudden, but it is.
Sorry, the timer went off, but I would love to.
Can I
I would
say
love to keep
something?
going. I mean,
I'd like to say something. I felt that the us here, how I experienced it was like disjointed. And I was like really, okay, I could go here, I could go there, but they were like, we were not kind of together. And what that brought to me is something that I think I mentioned here at some point, that we wrote an article with Charlotte about groups. And I remember very clearly that both of us, actually I read it recently, don't remember, but we had the same need when we're running groups and we're sharing. We spoke about it, that for a group to form in that way, to be able to have more kind of a speak from that place and sense the us and the us, there needs to be like a tone and attunement initially. And we both felt that that was so significant, that we bring the group kind of as like facilitators, kind of like in that place. And to sense already from the moment we step into the group, like that whole thing. And that we both felt that this was very significant and different from other groups, kinds of group therapies, or just that's it. So I feel like I would love, I think, that to happen here in some way. So
I'd like to say something. I feel like there's two things going on. One is there's outside issues and there's inside issues. And Steve, you presented a case, or you shared about your client, which was an outside issue. And Rebecca, I felt like you were really bringing or it was leading to you in the here and now, and having missed a session, and I felt like you were interrupted. And I wanted to hear more about what you were saying about the client being drenched and then you feeling a chill. And it was like so relevant. It was continuity to what we were talking about with Lynn. And I don't know, I wanted to, did you feel interrupted? I felt you were cut off and I felt like I wanted to hear more from you, and you were attuned to the moment and the inner group.
I did feel interrupted. I did. And I appreciate you noticing that and bringing it up now. It didn't feel, you know, in the grand scheme, it didn't feel horrible. I was not feeling like, oh, no, I didn't finish. Because if I did, I probably would have done that. But yeah, I did feel like there was that there's been a disconnect here between the out and the in.
And
And you didn't feel
sometimes the out is conceptual. What I heard both Jim and Peter saying is the beautiful belief of Gene Ginlin that there is a group, whether you know it or not, whether you feel welcome or not, we are here with you. And that's kind of beautiful, but it didn't get to your heart in that you want to hear someone say, hey, how are you? You want to be welcomed, and that it's not in that conceptual world. So I would, Peter, you didn't mean to interrupt, did you?
No, it's not conceptual. It's real. That's what I was saying, and you didn't hear it.
Also, I wanted to say that I didn't mean it to be beautiful. I meant it to be ugly. That you can have an unwelcoming us. We can have an us where even if you've been there every week for several years, you don't feel like you can speak up.
But y'all, that's not helpful for us becoming in us, because automatically you both are saying, no, not you, because you might be in a group that I'm not welcome, or no, not you, because you don't understand the difference in the real and the abstract and the conceptual.
Yeah,
We do understand.
It's your interpretation, and notice that a provocation is also a tool to do something, yeah, in space. So
Jim, I just want to.
the conflict that Liz was talking about. So she said that it's when it's real, when it's personal, and she meant also some fighting, I felt. Then something starts to happen. That's what we are having right now. That's interesting. Yeah.
Jim, I just want to say one thing relevant to what you said, because I've been in and out of these groups for a long time, and there was just no way I felt like it was possible to jump in and to say anything. So yeah, I think that's a really good point, referencing Rebecca's feeling that you don't have to be new to feel like you can't really say anything somehow in a new group or in any group maybe. But maybe we don't have that sort of rhythm yet as a group that allows for each other's thoughts and feelings and presence.
Let's pause here for a minute and
Yeah.
see if we can find the felt sense of the us right now. What are we struggling with? What is our growing edge? What are we trying to do right now? What are we fighting about or with?
I would say there's a sense of wanting to belong in some way, to feel a sense of belonging that people do not feel in different ways. Everyone's kind of experiencing that in their own way.
Yeah.
And Lynn has said that sometimes you have to claim your belonging. So even if you don't feel it, maybe it's just that you're not claiming it.
Okay. It's a
I
point.
think Rebecca was,
I disagreed with her when she said that, but I just wanted to, my inner Lynn insisted that I add that.
I so appreciate that, Jim, that your inner Lynn speaks up even when you disagree with her. It's like I get 2 votes.
I feel like Rebecca was claiming it, and I
Yeah.
just want to know, like Petra, like what was it that made you interrupt her? Like what was happening for you? Because she wasn't finished. So what was happening?
Mm. And okay. Are we continuing?
We're sort of in a mode of processing what happened and seeing if we can find that edge, where the group is trying to go. And Arlene suggested that we're struggling to have a feeling of belonging. And then Jim said, his inner Lynn said, we have to claim the belonging. And then I think I said, and people agreed, that Rebecca was claiming her belonging. And then Robin wanted to know, Petra, why you interrupted. And
So I want to just say that, Petra, that's not about you necessarily. That's Robin's experience, you know? So
Yeah.
it feels almost like an attack of some kind. I wouldn't want you to feel that because, in a group, we have all the energy to jump in and say what you want to say at a point in time. Yeah, but that's Robin's feeling.
Well,
Yeah.
people are talking around me, but I'm here. So I was
Notice.
ACT Institute, that your name is Stephen.
Yes.
David,
You were talking about leaving space for people because you're new and you want to get to know them. And that's what I was responding to, is like, how would I know that? If you're sitting there silently, how would I intuit that about that you're interested in getting to know me? And so I talked about that a bit. And then Petra, you interrupted me, and I did feel cut off. And
Yeah.
I
I
and you're
remember
doing it
us.
again. You're doing it again
Yeah.
right now. You're doing it again. And uh, my feeling is that we want to connect here, that we're trying to connect. And it's not an easy process to happen, to go through, especially for those of us who either don't, we don't know each other. I don't really know anything about focusing. Um, and, and then I don't remember who said it, if it was you, Arlene, or you, Isabel, like you could have been here for a long time and still are having these same challenges. Um, and I think, I mean, I know Robin for a really long time, and I know Robin is a very skilled group leader. And I think she was stepping into that space to figure out, what is happening, what was happening for Petra. And I didn't I don't know how it felt to Petra, if Petra felt criticized. Arlene, you jumped in to protect him, to protect.
Yes, I did, because I think I felt criticized. I
Ah.
felt unchecked, yeah. So it
So-
scared me. I didn't want him to, go away feeling bad.
I am feeling that even though I know some people this year, it doesn't matter who I know, including Lynn. I'm trying to find my place in this group because
Okay.
it's a new experience for me because I'm coming back after my stroke and redoing, but you're all changed. I don't know you really, and I don't know how I am to be with you because I'm changed. And so I'm feeling that maybe handle.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, just because I have to leave. And I
Sure.
want to just put on the table, Lynn, I think we should do this group talk for 30 minutes each week. Okay. This is much more valuable than all the about talking.
Well,
Okay.
I'm hoping, Arlene, that we can connect the two. It's not two separate things.
But we
And
need more
that's
time. Well, I think we need more time for this.
okay.
For
I'm
the
gonna,
processing and the discussion. I just put that vote in.
yes,
And I'm
yes,
sorry that I have to leave everybody. It was great.
Arlene.
yes.
I just
We
want to say,
all have to
this
leave. Yeah.
feels to me like this processing part feels to me like the group began. In a
Ah,
sense, there was an us that began in the processing because it was much more intimate and direct. There were many, many feelings, including concern about, offending, interrupting, a little bit of, really wanting to know, why did you do that in that moment? What happened here? To me, that felt alive.
mhm, mhm. Yes. So,
So the first part was dead,
Petra, we're gonna
and
have
now it's alive, right?
to say that again, Petra.
The first part was dead, was not alive, and now it is finally alive. The first part was dead.
You think it
There
was
was not
I'm
dead.
not, I didn't qualify it like that. I'm just saying, I don't know what the first part was. This part to me felt alive.
Yes, yes.
Well, I felt I have to admit I felt also alive during the first part, not only because I spoke and was interrupting. I'm pretty sure I was, and I'm pretty sure there was also us, also alive. Well,
I just want to say a
my,
couple
my, my,
things, Petra, before you continue there, because we're going to have to
Mm.
stop, and we will continue in 2 weeks. But I just want to say that I thought we really came to this trying to feel where the group is trying to go and what we're doing here, and
Yeah.
Jim put it in the helpers, who we are and what we're doing here. And that struggle to belong, to claim the belonging, to claim the interruption, to claim, to want to be welcomed. Rebecca, when you said, well, how would I know? It was also a call that you wanted somebody to say, Rebecca, and then Isabel, you did that. You said, I'm so glad to hear you speak. And so there were many, many moments, and you'll have this recording, and I hope that you watch the recording, and we'll continue
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
2 weeks. And Petra, I just wanted to reflect what you said, that before, that you felt that the belonging comes from having a fight, and that then we work out the fight and you feel more belonging. So there was a little bit of feistiness, there, but I don't know.
And my point was that there are different ways of making contact, and fighting is one of them.
Yes,
certainly.
you were speaking up for that. Yes,
It's
you were
it's a
speaking
real
up for that.
it's a real contact. Yes, surely. Yeah,
Okay. Yes,
it's one of the points. Yeah.
one of the kinds, and we were trying in
Of the
all
points.
different ways, right, to make contact. And BJ, I just wanted to recognize how you interrupted Stephen to bring it back to the group and the feeling of his rejoining the group, which felt like you were bringing in like the sheep that are wandering and bringing them into the herd.